Hello everybody, welcome to my 10K sub special. And well now it's an 11K special because it took so long, but I'ma just leave it at, we don't have to go into details, just life. So today we are gonna do a Q&A. That's what you're all here for. A couple months ago when I was creeping up on my 10K, I was like, ask me questions and I will answer them in a video. So this is the video. But we cannot start the Q&A without first acknowledging y'all and why we're here to begin with. And that's because y'all, okay, look, words cannot express how grateful I am for all of y'all and all your support and just your love. It's because of y'all that I'm making this video, that I'm even further along in my dream to just be a creative and not just do music, but I have a lot that I can do. I have a lot that I want to show. Man, 11,000 people. I always say celebrate all your wins, little, big. Thank you. Bottom line, thank you all for being here, for watching this, for supporting my music, just being around. Because I have so much fun even just talking to y'all, having a laugh on social media, anywhere, comment section, whatever. I appreciate y'all and I'm just so grateful and much love. Okay, so when I first put this tweet up asking y'all to ask me questions, I read through a good majority of them and was like coming up with the answers in my head, and I haven't read them since, so now we're gonna get even, you know, I feel like it's gonna be even more authentic going back through them and without pre-answers in my head. So let's do that. I asked Twitter, I asked my YouTube community, and I asked Instagram stories for questions, so there's quite a few. I'm gonna try to run through them kind of quick, but I'm gonna try to answer all of them, except, well, I might skip a few because I remember this was really stupid ones that I didn't want to answer. So, handy dandy lap au top, oh yeah. First question here by Volcar. Oh no. Okay. So she asks, what's one of the worst fears you have as a creator? Actually, she said as a creator. But anyway, you can't edit tweets. Only thing I can think of is just not having like privacy. I want to keep putting music out, being me, letting people see me through my music, but also just like when I want to be alone, I want to be alone. The thought of people trying to like dig into your personal life or just always being on top of you, that's the one thing I can think as a creator. As you get bigger, just getting more annoying. But as I am now, I hang out in my Discord all the time, just hanging out with people, and you know, you can be in and out as you please, and I'm usually there a lot, so that's the only thing I can think of for that question. Nightcore Nightcore asks, what is your fondest memory while making music? That is a hard one because there's so many. I'm gonna go ahead and say I usually make music by myself, and I love making music by myself because that way I can hone in. Sometimes I'm really all over the place, my thoughts are everywhere, so making music by myself, I love it, and I love not feeling pressure to quickly try to finish something because somebody's in the room with me. But I will say I've had some really fond memories in this room right here at my setup where, you know, I pulled up 2 chairs, me and another local artist friend would sit here. We made beats together. That was like my first time not sending stems, you know, to someone online, but actually having them in the room with me. That was cool, like passing the keyboard back and forth, MPK, and just creating in the same space and then writing to it, and that was actually really cool. Or in New York was the first time I recorded with a large group of people, like in my friend's house. We all took turns recording in his mic, and it was just such a cool energy. You could feel the passion. Everybody's the same goal, same, you know? I'm answering these a little slower than I thought. My camera might turn off on me. It says I have 12 minutes. That's not gonna be enough time. I got another memory card somewhere. All right, we'll go until it stops, and then I'll pop in another memory card. Next question. This is from Breton Boy, and this is a funny question. And it was funny, everybody started getting on him and like, oh my gosh, Breton, no! Breton, stop! It's a valid question. You gotta have sex to one of your songs. Which one you picking? Eye emoji, side eye emoji. So I don't know if he knows that I have made songs for the occasion, for that certain activity, keeping it PG-ish. Now, I have a song called Your Body, and that's the song. I probably picked that one. Other than that, definitely the one I put out last month, I with Vanquish. That was made for that. Also, I have put up a sneak preview of a song called OTW on the way on my Instagram, and that one. Don't forget to drink water. These water bottles are great, you know, the ones with even the times if you're really bad at drinking water. JK asks, do you play sports? I used to play a lot of sports. First sport I probably played was soccer. Soccer was my ish. I loved soccer so much. What my sister would say, I'm the athlete of the family. Well, anyway, soccer, basketball, cross country were the top 3. And then I did like powder puff football, and just like any sporty thing, like I was always down to play anything. But those 3 were the ones that I was actually in a team. And then powder puff football was just briefly. It was an actual like team. I went to a Pistons camp when I was in the 4th grade and got coached by the assistant coach at the time. I don't keep up with really the NBA basketball nowadays, but I mean, back in the day, my fam thought I was gonna be in the WNBA. Like, my fam was really encouraging it. You know how girls like sometimes are taller than the boys for a while. I was one of those people that was like, yeah, I'm tall, I could be in the WNBA. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, and then Breeden asked another question. Hold on. I don't know if it's because all y'all jumped him about his other question. If you were able to put one song of yours on the radio, which would it be? First one that just came to mind, no lie, me and LAWZ, it's on my album Route 44, and that one is like solid all around. Verses, subject matter, hook, that is the one. Oh, Breeden, that's another one. If you could voice act a character from any anime, who would you want to do? Who would you want to do and why? Can I do 02? Like, darling, darling. What was homegirl's name from Michiko? Oh, Atsuko Jackson from Michiko to Hatchin', or Michiko and Hatchin'. Yeah, if I had to pick one, maybe that anime is so underrated. Oh, Breeden, that's another one. Dang, Breeden. No, I'm playing. I'll answer it. No problem. He said, what type of YouTube content would you be doing if it wasn't music? What I was doing before I was putting music up was skits and short films, actually. When YouTube first started, like 05, 06, I was doing a lot. I created so many channels throughout like 05, 06 through now. Now, you know, my music channel is the one. And then I made another channel for like gaming highlights and clips. But yeah, beforehand, I was just doing everything. I was doing like music video edits, putting lyrics at the bottom for people. This is when I was elementary, middle, high school. I put out several. I thought me and my friends were gonna be the next like Smosh or any other big group that was out at that time. And I was doing so much different filming and editing that even, you know, I started elementary, did it in middle school, also high school, but it started dwindling because my friends weren't as into pursuing that as me. And I could have kept going, just, you know, filming videos by myself the way that Caleb City and Long Beach Griffey and all of them are doing it. But I don't know, I just liked being a director of a big production. So yeah, I was doing a whole bunch of different video edits and stuff, and even in high school I put together like a reel in a video class that I did in high school. The teacher was trying to gauge everybody's level of video editing, if they had any prior experience, and I put together a reel of my videos from the kid to up to high school. As soon as he saw the reel, he was like, hey everybody, meet your new assistant teacher. Yeah, that's what I really like, editing videos. That would be the YouTube content I'd be doing. And I used to do animations and stuff. When I was in the 4th grade, I downloaded Blender, like a freaking 4th grader doing 3D model. But I also really got into stick figure animation. I was getting really good. I should not have stopped. I could get back into it, but yeah, animation, short films, that would be my YouTube content I'd be doing. And I might still do. Night Days, aka Black Fox, asks, when deciding on a collab project, what are the 2 things you feel it has to have to truly grab you to work on? The quality. I've literally gotten hit up for collabs and like heard the person's stuff and it's just like, nope, can do. Not just sound quality. Hold on. Let's see. I'm getting distracted. Okay, I thought that was a fuzz. Yeah, not just song quality, but overall good flow, delivery, lyrics. Like, I gotta be into the song itself. Matthew Storm. Are you planning to make more original songs besides the anime game characters or theme? First of all my music is original. Unless it has remix or a cover at the end in parentheses, it's an original. I know that's not what you're asking. I know what you're trying to say. I know you know this. I'm just putting it out there because, you know, it's been on Twitter too. Like, I never understood that. Just because it's not anime related or nerdcore related, it's suddenly not original. And I've never done a cover. I've done remixes. I don't really do remixes anymore. Then you can't do much with that song. It'll get flagged. Why waste time writing the lyrics and everything for it and then not being able to put it up? I mean, just for fun sometimes, yeah, or just like an exercise, but I don't really do remixes these days. I have to really like the beat to put a remix up. What are you planning to make more just songs besides anime game characters a theme? Yes, I do a lot already. Yeah, you can just check out any of my discography, really. I have more non-anime nerdcore related stuff than I do probably anime nerdcore related stuff. It makes its way, you know, that content makes its way into any of my music just because that's what I live. What other hobby do you have besides rapping? I actually like to write in general. Books, I used to be the writer, known writer, writing fiction mainly. Poetry every so often. And can't forget video games. Music, anime, video games. Those are my top 3 things in life that I just enjoy more than like anything else. Brent, how did you start becoming an artist? I got no flow, no production. I honestly get tongue-tied. You just gotta dive in. Literally, I made music as a kid just for fun. Then I started getting a lot more into the whole production of it. Like, me and my brother, when we were younger, would just grab a guitar. My dad plays the guitar. He had a piano too for us that he bought, and we just create whatever type of music we could with what we had. In middle school, I got really into producing. There used to be a YouTuber that I watched, and he was teaching us how to use FL Studio. I used something else before that, but FL Studio grabbed me the way he was. Oh my gosh, I hope y'all can't hear what's happening outside. That's kind of loud, but I have music in the background too, so we'll be all good. Yeah, just start. That's honestly how you become an artist. You just become one. You choose and you do it. Start wherever you can with it, with what you have. And I made a whole tweet about, I used to record with a video camera that had like a little record button on it. Then I used to use like webcam, rock band microphone, USB microphone. And then I won my MXL 990. And then recently, a few months ago, I just bought myself a different one. So look, I was gonna say the name, but I cannot remember the name of it right now. Oh my gosh, now it's gonna bother me. Hold on.
Later.
I bought myself a Neumann TLM 102. That's the new microphone I have at the moment. I really like it. And reactors have commented on the quality recently. I think it's the mic. I never had this many people compliment just the overall quality, you know, not just, it can't just be the mix, it's the mic, it's the mic, we like the mic. All right, let's go to the next question. SMC asks, what is your favorite verse rap you've done in the past year? Doesn't matter if it's yours, a collab, or cypher. One that just came to mind, of course, is my Maki verse for Breeton Boys, Jujutsu Kaisen sorcery fight cypher. That's just an overall fun one, just felt effortless. You can hear it in the verse itself. A lot of people compliment me on that verse. It's a good verse, and it's a good one of those good gateway verses into my music. If you hear that first from me, you're like, oh wait, hold on. For this year, that might be. And then my song, Maki Zenin, on my page, the whole full song for it. I really like the experimentation I did with the screamo rap. Probably between those two. Walled Night. Oh my gosh, this is Lemon Lime. I'm just reading your whatchamacallit. Said your favorite and least favorite rap you've made. Y'all are asking some tough questions, man. I keep going back to No Lie. That song is really good. I just love everything about it, from the instrumental to the way me and LAWZ flowed over that. As far as the least favorite rap I've made, I can't remember the name of it. There is one that I had on my SoundCloud. It's probably still up there actually. And I was like, I don't really like the song, but I put it up and then my friend's like, no, I like it, and you know, other people will like it too. I'm not gonna be like the only one. So we'll go with that if I can remember the name, but I don't even feel like looking that up. It's on my SoundCloud somewhere. And then I always tell people a song that I thought was really gonna go viral. It was doing well for a while. My song Female Rappers Be Like. It's not that I don't like the song, I just didn't want that one to be the one to go viral. So I'm kind of glad it didn't, but I'm also like, how didn't it? It's a spoof making fun of the way that female rappers rap and their subject matter. And I got a whole like animated video done for it and everything. Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't blow up off of that song. I didn't want that to be the song. All right, just Nina Hope. How does it feel being one of the baddest and most creative nerdcore artists? And then I'll get to the other part. Second. Okay, how does it feel? It feels great. Okay, you know what I'm saying? What else can I say though? It's wonderful. I appreciate that though, for real. Also, you asked. Also, please let me interview in parentheses. That's why I did this. One for the podcast. I would die. I mean, hey, I'm kind of awkward, but I would give it a try. I would give it a shot. I would give it a go. And I actually do have to check out that podcast. It's Vinocht. Favorite food? Cheese. I can go grab a cheese bar from the fridge and just munch on that like a chocolate bar. I grab the packet of shredded cheese. I can just eat it. I love cheese. I haven't eaten any cheese that I don't like yet. Is there one out there? Beats me. I've loved everything so far. Lately, I've been really into Gouda, smoked Gouda. That's probably my favorite at the moment. One of my goals in life is to try every cheese that I possibly can. Skittles, you tap into a lot of cadences and flows, but what's your go-to structure or type of writing style? In parentheses, punchline, wordplay, sauce, syllable rhyming, etc. I don't know why I'm reading this parentheses like this, like I'm not gonna put the actual tweets themselves up with what I'm reading. I feel like I don't really have a go-to. Whatever the beat calls for, I listen and I react and I do what it tells me to do. The beat makes everything. What the motion, the energy coming from the instrumental dictates how I'm gonna attack it. Yeah, I don't really have a go-to. I'm really versatile. Yeah, the real gets Rodian's lead. How did you meet the other nerdcore guys, gals, and how do you plan Cypher's features? Oh, this is a story. Okay, nerdcore. I didn't know there was like a whole community, a whole genre for nerdcore. When I started doing music, nerdy references stuff made its way into my music just because that's the type of stuff I'm into. So put in your music what you live. A couple of years ago, Grayson told me well, no, he didn't even tell me. First he asked me like, hey, you joining VPC? And I was like, what's VPC? Like, so he explained it to me as like a nerdcore competition. Well, I was like, I'll join. Shoo. So I did, and that's when my whole world began as far as nerdcore goes. Prior to the VPC, the only like nerdcore artists I knew of was like Mega Ran and Zamis, which I didn't even listen to either of them really like that. And was it 2017? Yeah, 2017 I went to Youmacon and Mega Ran performed. That was like the first time I actually was like, oh, this is that guy. And he did an incredible performance. Like his stage presence, everything was so good. I was so enveloped. That's how I got to know Mega Ran basically. Then the very next year, I was on that same stage that he had performed on, doing my own like nerdcore. It's crazy. And this is even before the VPC actually. So this is prior to VPC, me just kind of like dabbling into, oh, this is nerdcore hip hop. Then VPC happened, I joined. I did really well for that being my first VPC. Was I top 10 in my group? Because the VPC, oh, for those that don't know, vocalist producer contest centered around nerdcore. It was on Facebook, the Facebook group Nerdcore Hip Hop. I learned a lot about nerdcore in general and kind of dove more into the history of it all. And I've heard of like MC Lars and all them too, but I wasn't really into it like that. Just being in that group around the OGs of nerdcore, I loved it. And that's how I got into nerdcore. I don't know if it was around that time Diggs had me on Spider-Verse. It was like a spider, was it like, he called a Spider-Verse Cypher? And I was Gwen. Game Boy Jones was on it, and we had a Facebook group for everybody that was in that song. We were all sending our verses in one by one as we got them done. And Game Boy Jones heard my verse and was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna hit you up for song. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah. And I'd heard of him prior, actually, because LAWZ, I think they know each other, I think they live in the same state. LAWZ posted a Killmonger rap that he did with Game Boy Jones years prior, and that's where I first heard Game Boy Jones, because they did that song together and I was supporting LAWZ. But I was like, okay, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool song. But I didn't know much about Game Boy Jones or like his accolades, or I don't know how big he was at that time either. After the Spider-Verse song came out, I don't know if it was a few months, maybe a year later, he hits me up and says, do you want to be on this Uchiha Cypher? And I'm like, oh yeah, Naruto. Yeah, I didn't know how big he was at that time either. I was just like, yeah, I'm I'm loving collaborating with different artists, and he hit me up for something that I love, Naruto. So I did that verse, and suddenly when that came out, my dead Twitter started picking up a little bit. I didn't realize how big that song blew up. The YouTube Nerdcore artists started hearing me, and that's when Rustich heard me on the Uchiha Cypher. I later watched his reaction to it, and he was like, she could be the Mizukage. Like, what do y'all think? Or something like that. I think he was doing a live reaction. And I didn't see that till later, but yeah, Rustich started following me on Twitter, and a whole bunch of other people, including like Zach Boucher. I was like, ooh, like his was my favorite on the Uchiha Cypher, and I was like, who is this? And all these other people, I'm like putting the mouse over and like see how many like followers they have, and I'm like, oh, these people are kind of got a lot of followers. What they doing following me? That's how I got into the YouTube scene. You got the Facebook OG scene and then the YouTube scene, which I'm glad it came. I found Nerdcore in that order, and I like that the two are kind of meshing now. It should all be one community anyway, but there is kind of being on both sides. There's a little bit of a divide, but I'm trying to help bridge the gap myself too. So that's how I met them. That was a long-winded story. Shadow Chidori asks, how did you overcome all the adversities of being a rapper? Mind your business. Actually, literally not caring what other people think. Just do what you want to do. And don't let other people dictate how you go about. I mean, just do it. Just do it. All right, I had to change the memory card again, and now the battery's running low. Oh wow, I didn't know this was gonna be that long. Okay, Toby said, what's something you fear that most don't? Is there something that most don't? I'll be honest with you, Chief. I can't think of anything that it's like an uncommon fear. Pass. We'll pass. Okay. What got you into hip hop, both rapping and production? For me, I've always just been into all different types of genres growing up, and my cousins were really into hip hop and rap. They kind of got me into it because my parents are not. No, they don't really do rap or hip hop. If anything, for a while I was listening to like Christian rap. Production wise, just again, once I got into hip hop and just loved the bounce, the sound, the lyricism, storylines, everything, naturally production followed. Then like I said prior, I had this YouTuber that I used to watch that made music on YouTube and was getting pretty big on there. I don't know if he's just stopped or what happened with that guy, but once he was showing a tutorial on the way he made beats in FL Studio, I was just like, oh, and I started recreating instrumentals first, getting the hang of how I was doing that and how you could make beats in FL, and I just naturally got into it. He also asked, what are some tips you can give to new rappers, especially those trying to break through in the nerdcore space? Well, first of all, just do it. A lot of people suck when they first start stuff. Just start. If you like it, try it. As far as nerdcore goes, actually, don't compare yourself. Do what you love, and if you love it, keep going and celebrate all your small wins, little and big, because you'll keep growing and see bigger and better results as you go. Other people are gonna have bigger, better accolades, but so will you, and people below you will see you and be like, oh man, wish I was there too. It's a constant effect, but go do it. Favorite dog cat breed? Dog breed, anything with little legs. So I really want a Norfolk Terrier. A cat breed? I actually don't know much about cat breeds. I would get a cat. I just like animals in general, even though I've never had one. I've had a let me start. I've started with fish, like a lot of others, and then I've had a fire-bellied toad for years. That was my like pet. That was my main pet. But yeah, I don't know, cat breeds like that. Spin Master, what's your favorite? What's your favorite zodiac sign? No, what's your zodiac sign? I am a Cancer, and I don't know what you're planning on doing with that information, but I don't do zodiac signs. Whatever you are, I don't know who's when, what month, what moon, what sun, when Jupiter does the Gatorade, I don't know. But well, yes, I'm a Cancer. Plaid Gamer asks, can we expect any video game related rap song? This is one of the ones I said I wasn't gonna read, but boy, if you don't go look at my discography, people ask questions before they even see if the answer is already there. Okay, Toto asks, do you let the hammer blam? Andrew Clark, hello. Hey yo, for real, that's awesome. Congrats. Oh, he was saying congrats for the 10K. It's awesome to see that your solo stuff is getting more recognition in the community. You're goated, for real. you're one of the people that's always around. I see supporting artists, so appreciate you first of all. And then your question: how do you get such crazy loves of sauce in your vocals? But yeah, you're awesome. Congrats. The sauce is natural. The sauce came when I slipped out the womb. The sauce came with it. The sauce is already in there. The sauce is being cooked up in the womb, and then it came out, and now it's here. It's oozing from me. It's in me. It's like sweat. Ugh. When I record, it's just there. When I write, it's just there. But yeah, no, I just get, like I said, I'm really into the beats, and I just whatever happens when it happens. And thanks again. Este asks, since when are you making music and why? I've been making music since, I'm gonna say, the 3rd grade. That's when I was really I was trying to learn the guitar by myself. Me and my brother were basically had like a little band. So that's when I started. Then I really got into it in middle school. The actual getting into DAWs and learning mixing and doing everything on the computer and trying to read through together like a CD and everything. Okay, Christopher, favorite all-time rappers and producers. Ooh. Kendrick Lamar. I always mention Kendrick. J. Cole. Absol, Buddy, Smino, Saba, IDK, Mac Miller. Rest in peace. Oh my gosh. I guess those are like the main ones that straight like I was firing off. As far as producers, I really like C-Sick. There's a producer named Nobody. I feel like there's a lot of people that name themselves Nobody. Stop, you're somebody. Somebody's gotta be out there named somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with those just so we can continue. Chagas, what is your dream scenario to sing live? Of my own songs? Because I've done songs live already. I've done quite a few shows over the years. Like a cover? Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. Okay, that's all the Twitter questions. Oh my gosh, that took forever. Okay, let's go to YouTube questions. Q&A. Nigel Bird. How did you get the name and how did you meet the nerdcore community? Okay, I told y'all how I met the nerdcore community already. But how I got the name, that's a whole story too. Basically, I grew up being the shy kid, didn't have a lot of friends, got picked on because, you know, I wouldn't fight back, blah, blah, blah. Finally started coming out of my shell in middle school, and then they got to see this other side of me. Like, I wasn't just the shy kid, the quiet kid. I'm funny, silly. Focus on that word. I got called silly a lot. Like, people call me their, like, comedic relief, but also just kind of, like, misunderstood, too. No, one day I went to dictionary.com and was looking for a synonym for silly, because I got called silly so much. Not even just friends, my family too. I had a lot of silly things to say. I was silly, facial expressions. I get told that a lot. Just things I do, even without trying. So I found frivolous. It's not a very complimenting word, I know. That's the thing. But also, I didn't just get called silly because, oh, she's funny. The mean form of silly too. I don't know, I was like, I kind of relate still. I don't mean to even put myself down because I talk myself up a lot. That's the way you gotta do it. Be your biggest supporter, your biggest fan. I've actually thought about changing the name quite a few times, but Silly Shara just doesn't have the ring that I want to it. Frivolous Shara, I don't know. There's something about it that I'm sticking with it. That's why I tell people it's like a paradox name. It's got several different meanings behind it. Whenever you and Diggs the Prophecy are on a cipher together, your verses are always right next to each other. And then they list a whole bunch where we're right next to each other. It's a coincidence. People say we just sound good next to each other. I think it was a coincidence at first, but now that it's a thing, people are doing it on purpose. It started off as a coincidence, now it's just like canon. Aurora, what was your favorite project outside of Bayfunk? I'm really curious. Also love your songs and streams. Thank you. Look, and streams too. You stop by the streams. I appreciate you. Route 44. Faux show. That's my heart. Route 44 is my heart. MC McB. Bryce, hello. Of the accomplishments you've done, what would you say you're most proud of, whether it be music related or otherwise? I'm just proud of everything. Having an idea and doing it. Is that like my catchphrase of the stream? Do it. Some people think it's so easy. It just happens. No, you literally have to work. So I'm just proud that I'm pushing myself, striving for my goals, doing what I can to get where I want to be. Patara Lloyd, what is your favorite anime cipher ever made? How old are you? Which softwares do you use to make music? I really like the Phantom Troop cipher, to be honest. I'll say that one. How old are you? I am 72 years old. Black don't crack. And which softwares do you use to make music? I use FL Studio for beats, Adobe Audition for mixing and mastering vocals, and then I also have Pro Tools and Ableton. Pro Tools I've used more than Ableton. Ableton still, I haven't given that really much of a chance, but at some point when I get time, I will be dabbling more in Ableton and Pro Tools. I've used Pro Tools a bit. Cameron Davis asks me, what artists inspired you to get into music and what keeps you doing it? Please don't give up on your music ever. It brings too much happiness to stop it. Also, when we get in the free soul hashtag freeze and you want to track together. I've always been a writer, so at some point writing poetry, music, rapping just felt like the next step. Not just have things on paper, but execute it in a way that others can really hear it. Cause I remember watching America's Got Talent with this girl before in high school and being like, man, I wish I had a talent like that I could showcase. And then suddenly, not even long after that, I'm putting out music. So I did it. I want to showcase my talent, and I now can do that in this form of art. And as far as I appreciate Please Don't Give Up on Your Music. Oh, I won't. Don't even worry about that. Even if I didn't have what I have now, I'd be pushing music. I was doing it. Like at one point I thought my YouTube and SoundCloud were dead. I'm still putting music out because I just love it. I love what I do. It helps. It helps. I will never give up on music, no matter what. And thank you, and I'm glad it brings you happiness. And as far as the features, I mean, me and Freest, Bayfongs, and also him and I have something else coming out. Free Soul and Hashtag, I'm not sure about them yet. I don't know Hashtag Free Soul. I actually have something I'm gonna hit Free Soul up about. FWW creator asks, favorite animes, favorite anime characters. Also, hi Shara, hope you have a great day. Hi, I hope you have a great, no, you have a great day. Favorite animes? Okay, Naruto's one. Alright y'all, so my other camera, my Lumix just died, so now we are on to my Canon. The camera quality and the sound quality are gonna be probably a little different, but don't even worry about it, don't even worry about it. Where did I leave off? I answered FWW creator, yes. No. I was answering FWW creator when the camera turned off. Favorite animes, Naruto's one, yeah. It's not the best anime, but it means a lot to me. Elfen Lied, Hunter x Hunter, Darling in the Franxx. Ooh, did I not say Attack on Titan yet? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna stick with those so we can move on to the next question. Yeah, there's a lot. I've seen well over 100 since I was a kid. I've been watching anime. So there's a lot of good, not just anime shows, but anime movies. Graham Lewis asks, how did you get into anime and what was the first one you watched? I got into anime, I don't even know how I got into anime. I thought it was always cool that my dad was watching like cartoons and stuff growing up. Not just like your everyday cartoons, like he'd watch superhero cartoons like DC. First anime might have been like Pokemon, or probably Pokemon, or like Digimon, as far as I can remember. Andres Campos Munoz asks, what artist would you love to work with that you haven't had the chance to work with? I think it'd be cool to work with Fable. Anime nerd, favorite song rap you have made and why? I think I answered that already. I'm sticking with No Lie, but as far as why, well, yeah, I've answered that too. Like, we killed that. I cannot get over No Lie. No Lie. Oh, Andres asked another one. When will you drop a track with 6 Second Screwface and the Kevin Bennett? Okay, the Kevin Bennett and I have already collaborated. Well, we were already on Restage's song together. Android 16, or hold on, 17, 16, 18. Is that the way he, 17, 18, 16? Oh, there we go, correct? Correct? Yeah, so me and Kevin been on a song together, and then I was on a song of his called Darkness, which you should check out. If I were to make a top 5 collaborations I've done, that would be in there. King Boo song. Oh, and then look, I hit the replies and somebody else already answered and said the Kevin Bennett one already happened. As far as the other ones though, they'll happen when they happen. Then Your Name is in Korean, and although I watch K-dramas and listen to K-pop, I can't read it. I can't read it. But you asked, how do you come up with your lyrics? Sometimes if I'm already feeling something, they just they just come out. Finding a way to explain what I'm feeling. Just depends on the subject matter at hand. If there's no particular subject, you just kind of, or for me, just build off the beat. Once you have one line, everything kind of just flows. Because sometimes I write out of order. I'll write the last line before the first line. I'll write lines in the middle and mix it up. The last line might become the first line might become the middle line. Just making everything cohesive. Once you have an idea and you write lines for it, you can piece it together like a puzzle. DC Sane asks, how would you feel if you got asked to hop on a feature with Screwface? Hey, I'm down. Abominator. What verses did you have the most fun writing? What were your most difficult verses to write? I have fun writing every single song. Once I'm into it, I'm into it. The Maki verse for the sorcery fight. I'm gonna go with that. See, I keep picking the same songs for the same questions. It's so funny. Because they're the most recent. We could go back. So many fun songs in like my album tracks. Most difficult verses to write? Anything that I didn't know that well, maybe? Subject matter wise? I'm trying to think. But it wasn't like difficult to write. Once I had a gist of who the character was, I can write it. No problem. Sometimes if I'm not feeling a day where I need to write, it can be difficult. Purely based off trying to force myself. It's more fun when you want to write in that moment. Asura Gura asks me, who was someone that inspired you to start rapping? When I first started, I had like no inspiration, literally. I just enjoyed hip hop in general. Later, Kendrick Lamar became a big influence. Yo, talk about a quality difference. This camera did not fully charge yet, but I was looking at the quality of the other one, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I had to switch memory cards again. This camera is nice. I wanted to finish it off with this camera before it dies on me. The question was, who inspired me to start rapping? No one inspired me, but Kendrick Lamar influenced me. You could feel what he's feeling, the storytelling. I wanted my music to have even more meaning. Like, I was already doing kind of what he was doing, but I don't know, something about the way he makes his music made me want it even more. Grandfather Moon, what got you into nerdcore? It's not necessarily I got into nerdcore, it's that I am nerdcore. The geek culture was already ingrained in me from when I was a kid, so it naturally made its way into my music. That's that. I don't know how else to say how I got into nerdcore. Zippy Zion, how did music and anime change your life? Anime's always been a big thing in my life because it's helped me through some really bad times. Like when I didn't even feel like I had anyone, but come home, plop down and binge mad animes. Like especially high school, but it's a comfort, it's an escape, kind of like video games. And music, oh music's, I don't know what I would be doing or who I would be if I wasn't into music. Music saved my life in so many different ways. The good and the bad times. Documenting my life. Joshua Sanchez asks, do you like pigeons? I don't dislike pigeons. That is all of the questions on the YouTube side of things. I think I took screenshots of the Instagram question, and that was just a few, so hopefully I can do this before the battery runs out. Kevinzard, aka K2, what was the first anime you've seen? I'm sticking with probably Pokemon. Lorado asks, what type of music do you like? All kinds. Hip hop, obviously. Dance, electronica, rock. I even listen to like metal and everything, so you name it. Some countries okay. Who's the one person you enjoy working with the most? There's not one person. I'm enjoying working with everybody I've been working with. People you want to do songs with? I mean, there's quite a few. I've been knocking them out, whether I'm on their songs or on mine. And that's the last of those, and thank God, because the battery's about to die. Thank you all again, and I'll talk to you later. Ooh, sidebar, if you made it this far in the video, let me know what was the very first song you heard by me, whether it was a song of my own, whether it was a feature verse. What was the first thing you heard me on? How you discovered me? And if it wasn't either of those, then I'm really curious, how'd you find me? And don't forget to check me out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, everything, FrivolousShara. Spotify, Apple Music, you know, anything, you know, all that. All right, have a good one.